You might be thinking to get your score to increase by 100 points that it is almost impossible. But what if I told you that if you only made a few small moves, your scores could just skyrocket? It could move up dramatically. Today I'm going to show you exactly how credit scores are calculated, what causes them to drop, and the same steps many people are using right now, 2026, to increase their scores 100 points or more. I'm not talking about some magic trick or gimmick. I'm talking about real actions that you can take right now that will produce results for you. You can take my word for it. The first mistake people make is trying to fix everything at one time. You need to identify the biggest problems first. Once you do that, so let me give you an example. I had a client who had a 580 credit score, had 5 collection accounts, 3 late payments, and the credit card utilization was at 92%. So what do you think the biggest problems were with this client? Yes, their score, having those collections, and the late payments, but also that utilization of 92%. By simply reducing his utilization from 92% to below 10%, rose his credit scores 40 to 80 points. It could have that much of a difference without even tackling the other issues, simply by bringing that utilization down. Why is that? Because when the way that the credit score algorithm reads it is that you have, let's just say, for example, $5,000 credit card. And if you're using $4,500 of it, the risk factors with the algorithm for the credit scoring model is reading you as a risk. It's saying that you're using too much of your credit. I know it's like a catch-22, but that's the way that it's reading it. It's saying that, yes, you have this available credit, but you're utilizing all of that credit. You know how it is with banks. You know how it is with lenders. Nobody wants to keep lending someone money that actually needs it. I remember I was watching a podcast with Shannon Sharp, and he was like, banks don't loan money to people who need money. They loan money to people who don't need money. And the same thing, the way that the algorithms are reading your credit scores is if you're using your credit cards more than 30%, it's going to move your scores down. So now let me give you another example on the way that you can improve that credit score by just simply lowering the credit card utilization. So let's just say that you got a credit card limit of $5,000. Balance is $4,500. Utilization 90%. This tells the lenders you're heavily dependent on credit. Now watch what happens when you just simply reduce that balance to $500 or $1,000. It becomes either a 10% or 15% or 20% utilization. Your scores will go up. If you get it under 30%, it's going to improve it. They're going to consider that that's pretty good. If you get it at 10%, that's going to be reading like it's excellent. You get it under 5%, that's ideal. Now, you might be thinking, well, Steve, how can I do that if I'm kind of tight right now with my money? Well, if you have multiple cards, you could potentially spread that balance out between all of those cards, but be very careful with doing that. Now, another thing is you need to remove inaccurate information off your credit reports. Look for accounts that have the wrong balance, incorrect dates, duplicate accounts, incorrect late payments, and accounts that don't belong to you. So here's an example of one of our clients. They had a 620 score. They had one collection that was reported 2 times on their credit reports. After the duplicate account was removed, before we even started working on that collection, her score went up 37 points. Now, the next thing that you want to do is we want to attack those collections. We don't want, you know me, we don't want to leave stuff out there. We don't want to leave nothing hanging out there. That's why I have my 8-point validation process and my 2-phase settlement process. So what we want to do is we want to go at this collection First, we want to try to look at getting it removed before we look at doing any type of settlement with removal. So first, we want to look at the date of delinquency because it could be past the statute of limitations. We want to look at the amount owed, the current owner of the debt, and the reporting accuracy. Now, you can refer to some of my other videos about how to remove these collection charge-offs off of your credit reports. But let me give you a quick example. I had a customer that had 4 collections on there. The score was 540. 2 of the collections were removed. 1 was settled. 1 was aged off. That means it went past statute of limitations. His credit score went up 80 points. Now, here's the deal that a lot of people don't know and understand. Not all collections impact your scoring equally. So focus on the newest and the largest first. Now, the next step that you need to take is you have to build your positive credit history. Now, let's talk about some ways that you can do it. And some of these are free and some of these is going to cost a little bit of money, but it's well worth it because if you can get a point or two lower interest rates, that's going to translate into thousands of dollars over a period of time. So the first thing, if you're just rebuilding from scratch, you're going to need to look at getting secure credit cards, credit builder loans, authorized user accounts, and some of the traditional credit cards. They might start you out with a lower balance. So let me give you an example of what we had with one of the clients. They had a 580 credit score and they only had one negative account, with only one negative account. So what she did is she added a secure card, she did the credit builder loan, and after 6 months, her scores went from 580 to 680. That's a 100-point increase. Now, another thing that you need to be aware of, you know this, but I see a lot of people still make these mistakes, is do not have late payments. If you know that you're not disciplined, if you're not like me, I put all of my stuff on spreadsheets and I make sure that stuff is paid on time. You can set up auto payments. You can do calendar reminders. That's basically what I do. And you can do bank alerts to say, hey, your payment is coming due. I actually had that with my American Express card. So here's an example. Had a client, 690 score, had one late 30-day late payment that was dropping his scores 80 points. Now you might be saying, well, Steve, why can a late payment drop his score down? Because he had pretty good credit already. This is the thing. If you have good credit already and you make one mistake, it's like you can get penalized heavier than people who already have a low credit score and have more mistakes stacked on top of it. So don't miss payments. You don't want to have late payments. If you already have some late payments on open accounts, once you've made 3 to 4 to 6 payments after that late payment, you can call your creditor and get a courtesy removal of that late payment. Just let them know you appreciate doing business with them, something that came up at that time. Can they do a courtesy removal of that late payment because you're trying to utilize your credit for something and it's going to hurt you? Now, here's another one that you need to pay attention to. Keep those old accounts open. I just had a person call us at the credit repair shop and he said, like, I paid my credit cards off and then I closed all the accounts and my scores went down. What the hell is going on? And I was like, don't close those accounts. The way that the algorithm reads it is that if you have credit card accounts and you're not using the entire amount, because that's just the way the algorithm is written, you have credit card accounts, opened-end accounts, you're not using too much of them, it gives you a high score. That's exactly the way it is. I didn't build the system. That's the way they built it. They want it to look like, hey, you're using credit, but you're not using too much of it, because the way that the algorithm is written is that you're not a high risk of default because you're not using too much of your credit cards. But don't close those cards down. Don't close them down. Just remain disciplined. Let's put together the action steps to get your score up by 100 points. And I want you to put in the comments after it gets up 100 points. So the first thing we want to do is we want to look at the utilization. Do you have any utilization problems? That's where you're using too much of your credit cards. You need to pay them down minimum. And don't try to do too much at one time. Maybe pay them down 50%, then go to 30%, and just look at what your scores are looking like at that time. The next thing is, if you got collection accounts, you want to first look at getting them removed through the credit repair type process, where you're going to dispute those collections based off of what you're seeing with the collections. If you see that it's duplicated, if you see that there's something, some type of error that you can point out, you have the right to dispute that, and you could potentially get them removed. Now, if you don't have any positive accounts, you need to look at doing an authorized user. Make sure that you get one that's not going to mess up your credit. They can't be overutilizing their card, using their card. Look at the credit boosters. Look at getting your rent reported if you don't own a home. There's several different products, and you can contact us. We can give you some information on that. And then also make sure, if you got late payments and you've made at least 3 to 6 payments after that late payment, call your company and see if they'll help you get that removed, if they will remove it as a courtesy, because you'll be shocked. A lot of them will allow you to do that. So now let's talk about some of the things that people think hurts them with their credit, but it actually doesn't. Checking your own credit hurts your score. Absolutely not. A lot of people think that when they get monitoring services, or that they're using some type of service to check their credit, that it's like pulling their credit. It's pulling your credit, but it's not actually using your credit to get anything. So this is something that I recommend. You can go to www.your3scores.com. Link is below this video and on the screen. Get your TransUnion, Equifax, Experian credit reports and all 3 scores. You want everything. The free services don't show you everything. You need to know everything. Now, another myth is that you need to carry balances. No, you don't need to carry balances. If you need to carry balances, what you need to do is just, if you care about your credit score, is just pay that down to at least 30% or lower, and you'll see that your scores are going to go up. Another thing is that people think that they got to pay off collections automatically to raise their scores, and that's not always. I just described earlier that some collections carry more weight than other collections, but one thing that is for sure across the board, if it's a new collection, that's going to hurt you more right now. So if you have a collection on your reports and you're not trying to do anything, not trying to buy a house, not trying to do anything, then I would suggest going through the dispute process. But if you're looking at trying to get something big, like buy a house, trying to get a purchase of a car or something, to be able to get the lowest interest rates and to not have any issues with underwriting, with going to get a home, which they will make you take care of that anyway, I would suggest working out a settlement to get that paid for less. Now, another myth is that credit repair is only for people with bad credit. That is not true. Credit repair also works for people who are trying to increase their credit, but it's basically utilizing coaching to be able to get that, because they're taking care of their credit. They're just not doing everything right to make sure that their scores continue to go up. So let's just review real quick. If you want to get help identifying what is actually hurting you with your credit, you can go to www.thecreditrepairshop.com. Almost forgot my own website, thecreditrepairshop.com. And this is something that we do with everyone who signs up. Now, it's absolutely free to sign up. It doesn't cost you anything. It's just that this is what we have to do to remain compliant. So if you sign up with the Credit Repair Shop, $0 to sign up, you get your credit reports. You can go to the number 3scores.com to get your credit reports. We will do a review, let you know everything that's holding you back. Then you can decide if you want us to start working on your credit. We will start the dispute process with the furnishers, the negative furnishers on your credit reports, and the negative credit that's on your credit report that is hurting you. We will send out all of those disputes before you pay us anything. And then after that, 14 days later, you'll do your first payment. We just do month to month. There's no long-term contracts. You're not locked in. and you'll actually get to see that we're doing the work. Every time we do work, you'll get this email from our software that lets you know that work is being done on your behalf. So if you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch video, What Makes Us Different, so you can see my 8-point validation process, my 2-phase settlement process. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website your3scores.com to grab your TransUnion, Equifax, Experian credit reports and all 3 scores. If you have debt collectors coming after you, go to summonsmaster.com where you can get a exclusive certified debt validation letter to stop debt collectors if they're suing you. Go to Summons Master where you can get a court-ready response to help you defend yourself in court with just that document. You don't have to say anything, and have the opportunity to win your case, delay your case, and guaranteed to avoid a default judgment. Thank you for your time. This is Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of thecreditrepairshop.com and summonsmaster.com.